I want to see more trick shots with these enemies. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we're here with episode 3 of Turkey, Time to Strike. Last time, we basically had our introduction to this Warring States period, our characters trying to get, into everything and try to understand the situation they're in. It wasn't as wowing and impactful as the first episode, and that was very clearly intentional. It's a show that understands that after having that initial hook, you pull it back in a little bit and start to just explore. Start to explore what these characters would be going through in this kind of situation and just get everything settled before you really start getting into more of the story. It definitely didn't hit the same notes, but I think it worked out. I think it was a good decision, and I'm happy with what it did. It also introduced us to a new character. I can't remember his name right now, but he is helping them out, bringing the girls to this to his house, which seems to be a pretty well-off place. He comes from a pretty wealthy family, it seems. And we see who I guess is his sister, who is the girl we see in the opening that kind of looks like our main girl. Names are escaping me right now. I apologize. I'm oftentimes not great with names, so. But I was wondering, when we saw the opening last time, are we going to, have, the Warring States versions of our characters, and they're all going to have counterparts, or is it going to be more of akin to they end up changing their looks or something? It ended up being the former. They just have these counterparts, it seems, and this first one, although they don't call it bowling back then, is definitely interested in playing the game of bowling, just doesn't know it as that term. And we see she seems pretty cutesy from the little bit we saw of her. It's going to be interesting to see how these characters interact too, because if there's going to be a bunch of more characters added in, hopefully it's done well, and hopefully there's good enough writing in terms of that, because very easily you could overstuff this with way too many characters. So we'll see how that ends up going, but I'm just excited to get into more of this. So let's check out episode 3 and hope for the best. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, yeah, I'm trying to get the names down. I don't remember the purple-haired girl's name at the moment. But I want to start by apologizing for the little, mess up. I mean, obviously, I guess for you guys, it's not that big of a deal, because you just saw, a slight cut in the video, but it's from my end, it's I accidentally completely stopped the video for a moment there, and it's oh, Jesus. The problem is, that means I have to edit both parts of the reaction together, which is going to significantly increase how much gigabytes and everything the finished product ends up being. It's going to take longer to edit, and it's like, it's just so annoying, you know. It's more tedious than anything else, but oh well, nothing I can really do about it. So yeah, this episode was kind of just a continuation of the last. We got to learn about Suguri's family. We get to truly meet Sumomo. We get to meet the younger sister whose name I don't remember. Um, and then I guess other siblings are. I guess those other two are also younger siblings. um, the thing is, we know the father died. We found out the previous lord, Suguri's father, died. Suguri is kind of taking, like, I guess, in a way, over for his father. Um, but we don't know about the mother. Like, that hasn't been addressed yet. So I'm wondering what that's going to be about. But a big part of this is like the purple-haired girl kind of is like instructing them that no matter what, we can't like get involved, we can't interact too much. We have to be as, you know, simple as possible because we can't have anything changing the future. The problem is that all of her views of this kind of thing seem to be based on, you know, fiction, manga, and movies and stuff. And mind you, that's all that they would have to go off of. But it's like, how are you going to get into this situation and assume it's going to be exactly like that? Like, if I got into this kind of situation, I wouldn't think like, oh, this happened in Back to the Future. This happened in Turkey Time to Strike. I just have to do what they did and that. It's like, no, I wouldn't think of that. I wouldn't think that would be the correct response at all. I would think like, no, I'm stuck in this kind of situation. I have no idea what's going to bring me home. I have absolutely no way to know. And I don't know if like if I eventually get home, if the same amount of time will have passed by that point. Like, if I spend years here, will I get home, like, years after I disappeared in the first place? Or will I return to the same point? And if I return to the same point I disappeared at, will I still be older since I spent years in the past? Or will I return to the age I was at? I would be, like, panicking over that kind of shit. But instead, just the idea here is just try to have as little interaction as possible. Because butterfly effect, basically. Anything you do will likely change things. And obviously it's being taken to ridiculous levels. You can't use a tissue because it'll change the future. It's like, calm the fuck down. That won't do anything. Like, there's certain things I can give you, but that won't do anything. I'm enjoying just the general vibes of this series. I feel like it's just a really fun, nice series to just sit back and kind of relax to. Um, and I think starting the week off with it is just like kind of very calming and relaxing, mind you, with other stuff we have, especially this week. Getting into, you know, the Bourne movies and everything for the movie week this time. But still, I think overall, still a good, relaxing series. And I'm still really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. But I don't really have much else to say. It's like, it's such a simplistic series at this moment. Until, like, some more big stuff happens and more, like, notable character moments, I feel like a lot of this is going to be, like, very simple to talk about as well. One thing I will note, though, is that one scene where Rena's, like, trying to leave and they're talking to her about, like, even at least just staying the night. That was an interesting scene because it's like, she's like talking about like don't take this so lightly, and the other girl responds just suddenly out of nowhere, gaining sudden confidence. It's like, don't say that she's taking this so lightly. Don't take that so lightly. And it actually gets Rena to apologize. And later on in the night, when they're all talking about like, oh, what would happen, and talking about like being stuck here, even Rena's like, oh, but if things do change, what would happen then? And it's like we see that she is afraid too. She tries to put on this kind of mask of confidence as well as just generalized standoffishness. I think I struggled to find the right word for this before too. But I think it's masking her insecurities. And so being in this kind of situation is going to allow her to be a lot more honest. Though I do agree with what she said about like it's rude to be honest when you don't like someone or something. It's like she's like that's rude. It's being honest is rude. Her confusion at that, it's like I kind of agree with her there. It's like being honest when you don't like someone or something is actually less rude than leading them on. I've never liked the idea of like leading someone on and pretending to be nice to them, pretending to like them just because you don't want to come off as rude. I feel that's more rude. It's more, it's a lot better to be honest with someone. Because if you lead them on, it's just going to get their hopes up. But if you're honest with them right from the start, you don't have to be rude about it, but you can be honest without being rude. And I think that's the difference with what the sister was saying there. She was being honest, but she was also being rude. She was being both. You can be honest that you don't like someone and be, gentle about it. And, I mean, I'll admit I have a problem with it myself because, like, I'm very non-confrontational. But if I have had to tell some people that I don't like them, or at the very least that I don't like things that they've done. There's this back when I was like doing a lot of brony meetups and stuff with friends. There's this one guy who came to a bunch of the brony meetups who was like very, very, like, how do I put this? Hands-on, I guess is a way to put it. Um, he he liked to joke around with people by like playfully hitting them, and I was super uncomfortable with that. And I told him this, and he tried to make the excuse that, oh, I'm just having fun, this is what friends do. And it's like, I've literally told him, I literally had to tell him, that's what some friends may be comfortable with, that's what some friends may do, but not everybody is going to be okay with that. I don't like that. It makes me very uncomfortable. He didn't get it at all. And I actually like had to say that I didn't want him to come to any meetups that I hosted anymore. I couldn't stop him from coming to meetups that other people hosted, but any that I hosted, I had to tell him I didn't want him there if he was going to be like that. If he was going to disregard my feelings. Because he was upsetting me. And it wasn't even just that, too. He was also very, like, physical in terms of, like, he had no, like, sense of personal space. Outside of just the hitting thing, he also would sit on people's laps unprompted. He would get really close up to people all the time. Like, uncomfortably close up. And he never, like, did anything, like, really bad or whatnot. But it was to a point where it was making me extremely uncomfortable. And he refused to acknowledge any wrongdoing with it. He refused to acknowledge that he was making me uncomfortable. and tried to paint me off as the bad guy for, you know, complaining, basically. And it's like I had to tell him that I didn't like it and I wasn't enjoying what he was doing. And so yeah, I wasn't rude about it. I was very polite. I told him both in person and in messages. And I was very polite about it because I have a very hard time being rude in the first place because of being non-confrontational. I can't really gather up the courage to be rude. It's easier online. It's easier through text because I'm not like talking to someone in person. But even then, it's like I would rather not be rude if I can help it. But yeah, so there is a difference between just saying you don't like something and expressing your dislike and being rude. And I think that the girl here was doing a little of both. And I genuinely think that Rena has been doing both. And so seeing Rena actually apologize after being confronted about it, it's like, I actually appreciate that. And I feel like what I had said in the previous episodes about we're definitely going to see her grow and develop as a character. I stand firmly by that, and I feel like this episode is starting to show a little bit of that. So that's pretty cool. But all of that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts on this episode of Turkey Time to Strike. So let me know down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.